The life of Christ, rediscovering how his life, death, and resurrection changed the world. Healings, Jesus' power over sickness. The writer of the Gospel according to John ends his eyewitness account of Jesus' life by saying that if every one of the things Jesus did were written down, I don't suppose there would be room enough in the whole world for all the books. John 21:25. There's no way of knowing how many lives were changed by the healing touch and the healing words of Jesus, but these three encounters reveal Jesus' compassion for the sick and disabled, as well as his power over their natural afflictions. The centurion's servant. In Capernaum, a city in Galilee, Jesus met a Roman centurion. The centurion was a Gentile, a man who knew nothing about the Messiah or other biblical prophecies. What the centurion did understand was authority. As a soldier, he was trained to recognize superior power and respond to it properly. Perhaps the training helped him see something incredible in Jesus, a power that was not of this world. The centurion realized that in the universal chain of command, physical afflictions and sickness somehow fell under the authority of the seemingly nondescript man standing in front of him. Indeed, the centurion believed that one command from Jesus would be sufficient to heal one of his servants who was ailing, and he was right. That's Matthew 8:5-13. Confessing his unworthiness, the Roman asked if Jesus could simply bless his ailing servant. Then Jesus said to the officer, "You may go home now. Your faith has made it happen." At that moment, his servant was healed. Matthew 8:13. The woman who bled. 12 years. That's how long one woman had suffered from her bleeding. Doctors tried, but they could do nothing for her. She had one last hope, the man called Jesus. Story of the miracle worker's healing powers had spread throughout Jerusalem. Crowds had begun following him everywhere, begging for healing. And now here he was, just a few feet away from her. But the jostling throng prevented her from getting any closer, and she watched in horror as her last chance for health passed her by. In desperation, she reached out and touched the edge of Jesus' cloak. It was a single, glancing touch, yet that one touch was enough. The woman was instantly healed. Jesus turned around and asked who had touched him. The woman, now frightened, fell at his feet and explained her situation. Luke 8:43-48. In response, she heard these words, "You are now well because of your faith. May God give you peace." Luke 8:48. The man born blind. A popular notion among Jewish religious leaders in Jesus' day, and one that persists even today in some cultures, was that a person's sickness or disability was God's punishment for some sin committed by a person or person's family members. As a result, sick and disabled people were often shunned and even vilified by the public. As Jesus was walking with his disciples in Jerusalem one day, he saw a man who had been born blind. His disciples asked who was to blame for the man's condition. Jesus assured them that neither the man nor his parents had caused his blindness, and he proceeded to show them that even the most tragic situations have the potential to bring glory to God. Jesus spit in the dirt and rubbed mud over the blind man's eyes. He then instructed the man to wash himself in the nearby pool of Siloam. The man did as he was instructed, and when he emerged from the pool, his vision had been restored, and he was able to see for the first time in his life. John 9:1. These are just a few of Jesus' miracles. Stay tuned for our next episode of The Life of Jesus Christ, brought to you by St. Paul Firstborn Church of the Living God.